We were talking off camera, so about food wise, like the best way. And I'll give you my go-to for turkey, and obviously the breast takes the cake. Casey prefers it when I make like a turkey fried sandwich with.
I've never done that.
So you cut off like a piece of the breast, and then you hammer it down with the mallet just a little bit, and then you would fry it in deep oil. But before anything else, which is we talked about the squirrels before, is soaking it in buttermilk for a couple hours.
Oh, I've never done that either.
So
buttermilk.
I bought buttermilk yesterday. I'm gonna try.
So
you do that with squirrels, you were saying?
That's what he told me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try.
Okay.
So
okay.
I do that with pheasant too.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So it makes the meat a lot more tender, especially when you're taking a full bite like you do a burger or a sandwich or something. So it's not putting so much stress on the front of your teeth to where it's not enjoyable to eat.
Yeah.
But it also soaks up a lot of the flavor and the moisture, so it stays wet. But what I did 2 years ago, which I filmed but never released, and I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass for never putting it on YouTube, is I soaked it in the whole breast in a brine. And the brine was an orange sliced in half, salts, peppercorns, and there was a couple. I think there might have been rosemary and thyme in there. And
with water?
Yeah, with water. And I brought everything to just a simmer and then let it cool off in the fridge for a couple hours. And I tossed the breast in there. And then I let that set in there. I want to say it was 2 days. And then I tossed it on the smoker and brought it up to 160 and then let it cool back in the fridge and then sliced it like you would deli meat. And I made a sandwich out of that.
Huh.
And that was probably by far the best way that I've ever had wild turkey. It was a lot of work for the quantity of, I don't know, 4 or 5 sandwiches. But over the course of a couple of days, like knowing that that's going to be on your plate, like I was looking forward to that lunch. And I went to the garden. I grabbed a couple of fresh veggies that we already had growing, and I cracked a beer, and I was like, I did it. Yeah, this is a fresh turkey breast on a fresh sandwich. Time to go fishing.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only thing you didn't do was the bread.
No, I didn't. I hate baking. It's not for me.
But I mean, other than that, so 95% of your meal was you did it all yourself.
Yeah.
I do I go 2 ways with my turkey. We used to do a crock pot where we would put the whole breast in a crock pot. A friend of ours showed us that. It's hit or miss. I've had a few where they turn out really good, and then I've had a few where they're dry.
Yeah.
So I kind of quit doing that because wild turkey, if you overcook it, it's, in my opinion, it's not very good.
No,
I mean, just like regular turkey.
Yeah.
If you have at Thanksgiving, if your grandma overcooks a turkey, it's not good.
No, it's just tough.
Yeah, there's no way around it. If it's overcooked, it's not good. What I do now is I will marinate it in Italian dressing.
Okay.
I'll put it in a big bowl, and I'll soak it in Italian dressing, and I'll cut it into little chunks, usually about that big, like nuggets almost.
Yeah.
And I either grill it or I deep fry it. If I grill it, I have it in that Italian dressing for about a day.
Yeah.
Day, usually. 24 hours, day and a half. And then I take bacon and I wrap it with a piece of bacon. Usually I cut the bacon in half, so it's a half a piece of bacon per nugget. And I'll wrap it in a half piece of bacon. And everything's better with bacon. I know that. But then I throw it on the grill and it doesn't take long. You just kind of, on an open flame, just kind of toss it around here and there. Phenomenal. The other way I do it, which is probably my favorite, same thing. I'll marinate in Italian dressing overnight, and then pull it out, and I'll pat it off, try to get as much moisture off as I can, and then we'll deep fry it. We cut it in nuggets again, and then flour with like egg yolk, just like you were going to deep fry something. I forget the exact recipe. I think it's like flour. I think it's flour and then egg yolk and then breadcrumbs. I think is how Hannah does it. And then we throw it in a pot of boiling oil, and not boiling, but you know what I mean. Hot oil.
Yeah, hot oil, and then just you make nuggets out of it.
Yep, nuggets.
That's a good way.
Definitely not good for you. Either way, because you got bacon on one way, and then you're frying it the other way.
Who cares? It's good.
But man, is it good.
I thought this was America.
Yeah, we fry our food here.
Yeah, but yeah, those are my go-tos. But I would like to try the way you did it, because that sounds pretty good.
Well, maybe if I get a turkey, maybe if I get a turkey this year. I'm not.
I'll get a
I'm not,
turkey
not,
this year.
not counting my turkeys before they hatch. Oh, you can bring me a breast then.
I got one left from last year still, I think. I need to cook that.
Actually, you can see what I have left over there on my freezer.
Breakfast sausage.
There's turkey legs, and we got
Yeah.
6 turkey breast sections
Oh,
left.
yeah. What do you do before we get off? Do you guys eat the legs?
Yeah,
Man, I tried it one time and it was.
they're tough sons of bitches.
Yep. I tried to do a soup, like a turkey noodle soup.
Yeah,
Man, I had them things in there for like 2 hours and they just weren't going anywhere and I gave up.
add about 10 more hours.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it took a long time.
Yeah. So what we normally do with our turkey legs, just because they do take so long, is we have, I think it's a 7-quart pot, and we'll stack the turkey legs in there. Like we'll wait to cook them until we have 4 or 5 or just fill it up, and then we'll fill it up with water and then slow boil it. We toss some seasonings in there, but it changes because sometimes we're like, oh, let's make a bunch of like fajita style meat, or sometimes we want to add some ginger.
Yeah, you could do like a taco.
And ginger, so it's a little bit more of an Asian feel. But we'll simmer that for hours, and like the whole day. Like I wake up at 4. I'm not pulling that off until 6 p.m. at night.
Really?
And
It's that long?
Yeah, it's that long.
Okay.
And then we'll take those whole chunks of meat, which you still got to pick it apart from those tendons just a little bit. It is pretty
Right.
tender, but we'll freeze those sections. So we just have pre-made Mexican or whatever.
Yeah, just like shredded
Yeah.
meat, pretty much.
Yeah. But that's honestly.
I've heard that it is really good, and I just gave up. But the guy that told me it was Hannah's uncle, and he's like, "Oh, it's really good." He's like, "But it takes a few hours." So I'm thinking a few hours. I got like 3 or 4 hours in, and I'm like, I like pulled it out, and it was just like rubbery and
Yep.
gray, and I'm like, "This ain't going nowhere."
It doesn't look.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
It needs love.
I've heard it. If you do it right, though, I've heard that it is very good.
Yeah.
I'd like to try it because I really hate throwing away that meat because there's a lot of meat on a turkey.
Well, save them and we'll add them to the pot this year.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Never make it out alive.
35 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, how long?